Shalom. I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahabashah, Bahashem, Raha, Rakah, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles of Israel, aka the head apostles of Great Millstone, who do rule well and teach well with sound doctrine. Shalom to the elders and the elder bishops of Great Millstone as well. Peace, love, salutations, and blessings to all the sincere Akim Aquath who subscribe to this truth. A hearty shalom to the men out there in the highways and byways, highways and hedges, preaching and teaching in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and risking their freedom, now more so than ever, especially in these times, making their bodies a living sacrifice. And last but not least, a hearty shalom to the Mid-Valley Camp, New Jersey, NYC. First camp I ever heard the truth from, Isaiah 62 verses 6 through 7. Those that make mention of the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, keep not silence, give him no rest day or night. To Jerusalem is a praise in all the earth. So I just want to touch base on the Colombia situation, where you have people uprising against the government, protesting, taking to the streets, and mass chaos. And believe it or not, newsflash, this is coming to Babylon, man. You have a development in that case where the officer was convicted, a couple weeks back. And now all of a sudden you have a development with a juror on that jury who has been spotted allegedly participating in the protests. So if that case somehow gets overturned, somehow you're going to have massive uproars, man. Also, you have a famine brewing, a chicken shortage, So ironic, a chicken shortage. Now, for some reason, they run out of 2 pieces and biscuits, Some reason, somewhere, they run out of chicken sandwiches, chicken at the stores, so on and so forth. You're going to have people lose their shit. Not to be funny about anything, but people are going to lose their shit. Also, you have people protesting nationwide still, on smaller scales because of what's happening, People are still hitting the streets, disgusted with what's going on in Babylon, man. So all it takes is for one situation or another to pop up to rouse people up. Judah specifically. And through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, we're looking at Colombia with a close eye. Because what's about to be shown in this video is coming to Babylon, man. Let's just play it.
For the people here that doesn't speak any Spanish, I wanted to share some of the information of what is going on in my home country in Colombia. The government wanted to put in place some new regulations, increase some taxes, which the Colombian people did not agree with. So they went out to the streets to protest against these new laws. But there's been cases of sexual abuse, disappearances, tortures, and killings committed by the police, by the people that swore to protect us. So we need the world to know what is going on in Colombia. If you can share this information, talk about it with your friends and family.
So there you have it. Get my headphones back on so y'all can hear me a little clearer. So there you have it. And what's happening in the land of Colombia is happening to Israelites, primarily from the tribe of Asher, but you also have Judites, Levites, Benjamites in Colombia, you have Zebulonites, because Colombia is at the top of South America, you know? And, you have Issachar right here, but south of Mexico, it's all the tribe of Zebulon, from Guatemala to Panama. Right here, you have the Dominican Republic, the tribe of Simeon, Manasseh, it's like it, Ephraim, Manasseh, and then you got Jamaica right here, the tribe of Benjamin. And right here, Levi. And you got some Judites, mixed in as well. So Colombia is a melting pot. And it has a good portion of the tribes in Colombia, but primarily the tribe of Asher, And they're catching hell down here, man. You can see a very smoky scene. Police in riot gear, and people hitting the streets with gas masks, man, because the police are gassing them, they're shooting them, they're ravishing women, killing people, people are disappearing, so on and so forth, man. And this is coming to Babylon, man. Believe it or not, it's coming to America, man. And these are all signs of the times that we're living in, which is the last days. So let's read a little bit on this article right here, play a few videos, and get into the scriptures. So, Bogota, Colombia. And for those that don't know where Bogota is right here, inland, mid-inland. And then you have Cali. And this is where the protests are being reported out of. Bogota, Colombia. So let's read the header. In Colombia, 19 are killed in pandemic-related protests. The demonstrations over a proposed tax overhaul tied to the pandemic have morphed into a national outcry over rising poverty, unemployment, and inequality. It sounds like what Judah's going through, but they're not Israelites. You carnalites are going to have a lot of explaining to do, a lot of explaining to do, man. And a big I told you so moment is coming, because you're going to have a lot of Israelites wake up to the truth and come into the fold who look like her, beautiful, beautiful Asherite women, So, Bogota, Colombia. The dead include a ninth grader who went out to protest with his brother, an artist shot in the head as cameras rolled, and a teenager whose mother's anguished cries of grief, "Son, I want to be with you," have been shared thousands of times online. At least 19 people were killed and hundreds more injured during days of protests across Colombia, in which tens of thousands of people have taken to the streets to demonstrate against a tax overhaul meant to fill a pandemic-related fiscal hole. So, I'm going to skim through the article. You can see that Jake is out here acting a fool, and they're tear gassing these people, That's why they have the masks on. And let's see. We'll get to that in a second. See Jake out here, taken to the streets. Jake ain't having it. Latin America and South America in particular has been especially pummeled by the virus, and many countries in the region face dire fiscal decisions and reforms if Slovakia reforms are not made. And that's poverty by construction, you know, poverty by design, them looking to crash the financial system to bring in another one, aka the Great Reset, the global agenda of the UN through the World Economic Forum and through massive controlled demolitions of societies and countries and their economic systems. So let's read this part right here. The protests have continued in part because of anger over what several human rights groups have called a heavy-handed state response in trying to control them. Sounds pretty familiar. Sounds like Agenda 21. It sounds like Agenda 2030. That's exactly what it is. The powers that be working behind the scenes with their state, local, and federal governments to cause massive civil unrest so that the agenda can be propelled into the next level. Order out of chaos. Several instances of police abuse have been captured on video in recent days, including one in which a young protester is seen kicking a police officer on a motorbike. The video shows the officer respond by shooting at the protester as he runs away. Looks like, blasted out of there. 17-year-old Jake, The protester was Marcelo Agrido, 17, the ninth grader who went out to march with his brother. He died soon after, according to his father, Armando. The death was confirmed by the country's ombudsman, a government agency that investigates human rights violations. It looks like he got his life taken for a kick, And that's judgment from the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Bashim Al Shai caused that to happen. Let's read a little more down here. Let's see if, okay. So, Mr. DeQ, a political mentee of Mr. Urube, soon deployed more military forces to the street to quell unrest. The protests began Wednesday, and by Monday, at least 18 civilians and one police officer, Jesus Solano, had died, according to the ombudsman. Among the dead was Jesus Flores, 86, who died apparently from gas inhalation. You could have just said tear gassing, because that's what it obviously is that you were doing from the first picture. And that's just trying to conceal the truth, using big words to fool people. Just say you tear gas the nigga, man. Esau, man. At least 540 police officers have been hurt during the demonstrations, according to the National Police, while more than 100 buses have been vandalized or burned. The police say they also identified nearly 17,000 people who were not complying with public health measures like wearing masks. I wonder how you identified them. Facial recognition, some type of secret government software you have. I mean, how do you are you just guessing? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I wonder how they're doing it. Who knows? But that's pretty much the meat and the potatoes of what's going on. People are dying, and E is lying, because they said 19 dead, but the people are saying that there's people who are becoming missing casing. It's like a missing person cases, women being ravished. So obviously, if you had the sense to put one and one together and realize it's two, it's more than 19 people. You gotta sometimes multiply that by 2 or 3 when you're dealing with Esau, because he's a liar, he's a devil, a deceiver, And the same thing is happening in Cali, Colombia, So not to be repetitive, let's just play a few videos and let's get into the scriptures and wrap it up. Got Jake acting a fool, man. Tear gassing people. Woo, tear gas everywhere, man. That's how that old Jake died, man. 86-year-old man got taken out, Tear gassing. You can see that's what they're doing to people right here. That's what they're doing to Jake right here. I mean, bombs away, man. Tear gas bombs like crazy, man. So that's pretty much it with the videos. There's another video, but it's a little too graphic to show. I'm just going to read you the part right here. Jake gets crushed. I'm not going to read the rest of that. You can just see what it says. I'll leave a link to this actual video in the description. You can check it out on your own, as well as another video that was a little too graphic to show you. But it shows you that, there's people dying, man, like crazy, And believe it or not, this is coming to Babylon, man, because all it takes is for one situation to go too far left, and there you have it, no chicken in the stores, and they're secretly waging a war on beef as well. Don't let them run out of taco ingredients and chicken ingredients. Jake will fuck some shit up. And, not to be funny about the situation, but it's that serious. You play with a person's food, Jake is going to act a fool, man, and let a chicken shortage happen. Let this man who was found guilty get off, man. You're going to have Jake out here acting a fool. Let Joe Biden come out here and say that it's mandatory that you need to be hit up, mandatory. We're not saying 70%, 90%, we need 100%. And we're bringing in FEMA and the National Guard. I mean, we're literally at the point where any of these things can happen, you know? And when these things happen, if they happen like that, or so on and so forth, people are going to act a fucking fool, man. So, this is the time to get in the spirit and stay in the spirit, get on fire and stay on fire for this truth, or in the day of judgment, be on fire. We don't want none of that smoke. 2nd Ezra 9:1 from the top. 2nd Ezra 9:1-4. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Now, right now, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua is visiting this world, the whole planet, everywhere. You need a diaper on your face to go inside a grocery store, any type of business establishment, man. Because Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua is bringing the plague, man. He's bringing the pain. And pretty soon, you're going to have scenes like this in America. Full scale. Race wars, full scale. Citizens versus the police, citizens versus FEMA and the National Guard, so on and so forth. Private military forces, Total anarchy. It's coming to America, man. Colombia is just a hop, skip, and a jump down the road from Babylon. Let's just bring it up right here so y'all can see it. Babylon's right up here. It won't show on my screen right here for some reason. Computer's tripping. But Babylon's right up the street. So you're going to have this coming to Babylon. And it's already in South America. 2nd Ezra 9:3. Therefore, when there shall be seen, Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, more earthquakes this year than any other year in recorded history from January to now. Uproars of the people all around the world. Every single country, just about, you have people protesting the government and regulations and lockdowns and restrictions because of the pandemic. Order out of chaos. This is what the elites want. Total anarchy in the streets. So they can justify bringing in the UN peacekeeping troops and those Gurkha troops, man. And those super soldiers. The cyborg soldiers, the sentinels, the whole nine, man. Those robotic dogs, and stuff that people haven't seen, 2nd Ezra 9:4. Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. And the end is declared from the beginning. We can read how the ending plays out through the Holy Scriptures and through the through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. The prophets have been given the understanding from on high to bring out edification, when it comes to scriptures and when it comes to prophecy. And it's a beautiful thing to understand that these are the last days. This is the end time that we're living in. And these are all signs that our redemption is nigh. because we have to see the prophecies play out. We have to see and witness, the beginning birth pains of Jacob's trouble. We have to see and witness the RFID technology being implemented and praised in the world like a good thing, knowing the eventual outcome, we have to watch and see the wicked in power and in rulership promoting all sorts of abominations, abominable foods, abominable culture, lifestyles, thinking, religions, so on and so forth, sexual orientations. We have to witness these things play out, And if you have the spirit of prophecy, prophesy against these things. Jeremiah 28:8, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesy both against many countries, and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. Second Ezra, the book of Second Ezra, 15, 16 and 17. Second Ezra 15, the 16th verse and the 17th verse. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. And right now, we're seeing sedition, between the citizens and the powers that be. But wait till the famine hits, you're going to have invading one another, and a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, and shall destroy, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. And right now we're seeing the beginning stages of a man shall desire to go in a city and shall not be able because of the pandemic, because of the baby sword. They want you to have the baby sword receipt. People are going to the basketball game, and guess what they're promoting? Oh yeah, by the way, we got this this baby sword. We want you to stick it in your arm, by the way, You're going to get that letter from your job, man, to work here and to be a future employee of such and such. Oh yeah, we need you to go down there and get hit up, the baby sword, the little homie. And eventually they're going to come after you with the big homie, man. I'm using code language, the RFID microchip, man. The mark, man. The MOBZ for Sheezy, man. And this is the hour of temptation, And we have to endure to the end, And Adon Rathaza, Yahweh Bashim Yashai protects your household, man. And keeps and preserves us through these perilous times because we're all going to be tried. Last precept, 2 Ezra 15:5. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. And right now, Esau's hitting people up with the baby sword, via the, the different ways he has to give you the baby sword, the single cup of the Jim Jones juice, the double cup, and eventually he wants you to have 4 cups, And it's so ironic that they want you to have those 4 cups, and they're also advertising on the CDC website a zombie apocalypse. Put 1 and 1 together and make 2. Where are they going to get all these zombies from? Well, the people who got hit up, man. Plain and simple. famine is brewing. It's coming. A chicken shortage. No KFC. No drumsticks. No Uber Eats. None of that. You're going to have none of that. And great death is coming. And destruction. In the form of Esau coming in with the sword. The teeth of wild beasts. Newly created creatures. FEMA death camps. Guillotines. And people invading one another for lack of bread. And then eventually destruction in the form of Babylon the Great being destroyed, which is the end all be all, because at the same time, in the midst of that happening, the return of our Lord's going to happen. And simultaneously, he's coming to set down all power, rule, and authority and set up the kingdom. And without no destruction, there is no dominion. You can't have one without the other. Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahshai does everything in perfect balance because he's a perfect power. So, I'd like to close on out with that. In closing, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim Achach Wadash. Double honors to the apostles of Israel, aka the head apostles of Great Millstone, who do rule well and teach well with sound doctrine. Shalom to the elders and the elder bishops of Great Millstone as well. Peace, love, salutations, and blessings to all the sincere Akim and Akwat who do subscribe to this truth. A hearty shalom to the men out there in the highways and byways, highways and hedges, preaching and teaching in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and risking their freedom, now more so than ever, especially in these times, making their bodies a living sacrifice, out there on the highways and byways with the testimony of Yahweh Shai, which is the spirit of prophecy, which allows men to go into the scriptures and bring out understanding. And last but not least, a hearty shalom to the men of Valor Camp, New Jersey, NYC, first camp I ever heard the truth from, Isaiah 62 verses 6 through 7. Those that make mention of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahshai, keep not silence. Give him no rest day or night. To Jerusalem is a praise in all the earth. So, Lord's will, this lesson was edifying. And to the next time, Lord's will, shalom. DTA, Abba Ball. Soon. Soon.